Hey, folks, how y'all doing? Kanal here. Wanted to do some video review so you guys can kind of see how we trade here, get an idea of, how to play these type of breakouts and really dig into the nitty-gritty of, the mechanics on trading these things because there's always stocks that pass new highs, but that doesn't necessarily mean they break out. There's a lot more to it. So I wanted to go over a trade that we took on Friday, a GLUU, and so GLUU is one of those momentum stocks, so it's always on my watch list. We traded this original breakout, here at 280s pretty successfully, and then it's basically been flagging for the last couple days, and I put it on our we do a video watch list every evening for our watch list. I put this on the watch list. I didn't know exactly when it was going to go, but we keep it on the watch list because it could go any second. Ideally, we were looking for a few more days of flagging, but we thought maybe it might make a run into earnings, and so it was on the watch list, and we had kept an eye on it for days, and it was kind of perking up. And so on Friday, I had this on my watch list pretty much, pretty much the whole day. And what we ended up doing was doing an ONH trade on Friday, which is an overnight hold for a gap up play. And the reason we did it was, like I said, it was on our watch list. I had been watching this stock, pretty much all day, and the stock had been acting up, fairly well the last few days, but you can see, it was kind of perking out towards that breakout level. 335 was a breakout level. So, I've been watching it all day, kind of getting it on my radar. And then what you end up seeing here kind of late in the day is that the volume really starts spiking up. And confirming with the volume was obviously the price here, and it kind of took out its intraday high, and then it just kept running. And it was running right into the close on some pretty nice volume. And so oftentimes when a stock closes right at its highs, especially if it's a breakout stock, nearing 52-week highs, if there's volume in that stock, there's a great chance for that stock to gap up the next day, and we called that an ONH play. And you can see here, right here, it closed right at 335. The highs of the day, that's the highs of the day, and also 52-week highs. So we're hitting highs on multiple time frames, which is always very important. And that coinciding with the volume told me that we were going to probably get a gap up. And so we buy that for an overnight gapper. This is a great play for people that can't day trade, that have smaller accounts that get flagged as pattern day trades, because you buy at the end of the day, and then you wait for that gap up. And so that's what happened this morning. During pre-market, it was shaping up, it was gapping up, and you always got to hold back and make sure that you don't sell that things. You want to wait till the open and see what happens, see if this thing plays out. And so basically this thing opened right at 350. And right off the bat, you can see how it spiked. And so what I always like to do is sell a partial share into the spike and lock in some gains. And so we sold our first half around 355 or so, netting 6-7%. And then what I end up doing is just putting a stop. And so I kind of raised my stop to right here at 340. If you were being conservative, you could put it right here at 345, and you just let the rest of it ride. So we have half a position left. And then what I do is I just watch the intraday, on a 5-minute chart, and I just keep watching, and I'm raising up, my stops. And what ended up happening is, as this thing spiked here, this is a pretty fast move in a very short amount of time. For a half an hour, it basically went up another, 20 cents. And so I sold right into this spike. And so we ended up selling that last half for 11%. And so I love these type of plays, because if it doesn't gap up, you just sell it, right? And so your risk is pretty minimal. And if it plays out the way you want, hopefully you're going to be able to book your profits, very early into the next day. And so, we ended up buying at like 355 on Friday, and we sold within the first hour of trading, on Monday. And so really we only held this stock for 1.5 hours, and you make 7% on the first half, 11% on the last half. And so that's not bad. You have a couple thousand shares or a few thousand shares, and all of a sudden you've made yourself 500, $600. And if you can do that every day, one or two of these, then now you've got yourself a nice living, and it doesn't take that much capital. I don't